Hi there, it's Tim from Signagelive, and I have made my way over to talk to Matthew from BrightSign. Thank you very much for joining me.
My pleasure, Tim.
BrightSign, obviously very familiar, great partners. We do a lot of work together. Can you talk a little bit about what's new at the booth this year?
Of course. So at the stand today, we're showing three new things to begin with. With AI, we're starting to see more and more AI is being used in digital signage. I'm sure you're seeing the same thing too. Mm-hmm. So we have an example where we have one of our BrightSign units is behind the screen. Mm-hmm. So we're showing really that we're not creating AI tools as BrightSign, but we're allowing people to create those tools and use those on the BrightSign architecture. So we have an NPU built into some of our current players, a neural processing unit.
Okay.
That is just so powerful that it can run some AI analytics, if you like, and the content at the same time.
So you're using some of that processing power and diverting over to do that while still having plenty to actually run the content that's on screen.
So we're not having to go out to the cloud, for example. It's all being done locally on the BrightSign units.
And that I did check that out earlier because that also has a bit of like awareness of how attentive a person is. So if you're kind of closing your eyes, you're looking away, it's like they're there, but they're not 100% attracted. So you can pull out that data later.
Yes, exactly that, yes.
And is that how does that work with kind of data collection later on? Because we're doing some things here with Nexmosphere as well, right?
Yes, we are. So we have our partnership with Nexmosphere is really close. So we are using, for example, some of their lift and learn technology. So we have some light sensors underneath our Series 5 player lineup.
Yeah.
And as you pick up the BrightSign unit from the stand over there, the Nexmosphere light sensor detects that and the content changes on the screen.
Yeah.
So it's lift and learn, so it's particularly strong in the retail environment.
Yeah, of course.
And again, we can track those interactions. So again, it's about feedback in a retail store. It's about feedback to the owners so they can see which of their products are the most popular, as one example. So we're looking at return on investment.
I think it's becoming more and more prevalent, especially with retail stores having a maximum capacity of size. And they go, well, how can we get more data out of smaller footprint places so the total cost for them is more cost effective? And they would say, well, this piece of content, A/B testing that in a little bit like the way an algorithm would do. Yeah. And being able to say, actually, we're going to pull more out of this value-wise if we run this content this time of day, that content that time of day, and being able to put that into the store owner's hands or the decision maker's hands.
Exactly that. And we can track with Nexmosphere different types of sensors, the footfall, numbers, dwell time, from which direction a customer walks up to a stand or a booth or a product, for example.
Interesting.
Okay. So it's quite a deep thing we can do.
For sure. And there was another piece around LG, which obviously is just launched. It's pretty fresh, right? It's a couple of weeks off into the actual launch. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
So we have three ways of combining BrightSign with displays. One is clearly a separate purple box connected to a display. The second way of doing it is we have certain BrightSign built into some screen manufacturers, so as in a BrightSign is equivalent of our LS445, so a 4K player.
Yeah.
So you take the insides of that and they are installed in certain screens at their factory level. So that's option 2. And yes, as you say, the new way of thinking is that we now have our operating system running on the LG system on chip. Yeah. So we're using LG hardware, but our software.
So there's no hardware from BrightSign in there. Correct. It's the operating system that's installed on there.
That particular range of LG displays will ship with BrightSign.
So we'll ship with BrightSign, and that's just a...
Yes,
okay, interesting. So what does that give them access-wise when you're talking about the BrightSign OS?
So we work with a number of CMS partners, and it just enables that they could use whichever CMS they like to choose, like Signagelive, directly on that BrightSign OS in that LG display.
Right.
So our operating system is renowned for its reliability and security and ease of use with our CMS partners.
Okay,
so it just gives that wide flexibility.
So it just allows them to be able to very easily configure, especially if you're talking about volume, makes things much easier to be like, I'm not going to have to sit and dwell on getting it all configured. Exactly. I know it's going to launch with what I need.
Yes.
So if I'm doing 20, 30, 40, 100, 1,000 units, it becomes much easier for that process.
And it can all be managed using our management platform.
Right.
And it can be combined with separate physical purple boxes that may exist already across the estate.
And that, of course, when you're talking about greenfield opportunities versus the kind of brownfield where there's already some things installed and go, well, we don't want to tear this out just yet. You can mix and match and go and get your BrightSign LG and then also use the purple boxes for those screens that they're not quite ready or quite end of life yet.
Or perhaps where you may need a separate purple box or a separate BrightSign media player for applications where we need more powerful processing.
Sure.
Some requirements for interactivity or 8K content, for example, will require the processing power of a separate box.
Okay, yeah, fascinating. I know it's been super busy here. It has. Footfall has been pretty crazy, and it's the day for Candidacy. It is the last day of ISE, so everyone's a little bit tired. We're just making it to the end, but thank you for taking 5 minutes.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.